My Money, My Auntie, My Friend by AfroBudgetinGirl. This content is for informational purposes only and reflects my personal experience. It's not financial advice. The Risk of Friendship Loans, a 7-year lesson, my sister's story. It began with a phone call that sounded desperate. I need $1,500 for a medical emergency. My sister didn't hesitate. She trusted her friend completely. No contract, no witness, no record, just faith. I remember asking, "How did you get all that money?" And later, "When will she pay you back?" My sister smiled it off, saying, "She's my friend. She will." She didn't. For 7 years, the debt lingered. There were awkward texts, emotional distance, and that creeping sense of regret every time her friend's name popped up on her phone. When repayment finally came, the friendship was already gone. The lesson: when expectations are unwritten, disappointment is guaranteed. Lending without boundaries doesn't make you generous. It makes you vulnerable. Why lending feels so awkward. Lending money to people you love is one of the most uncomfortable financial decisions you'll ever make. A national survey found that 53% of Americans are uncomfortable lending any amount of money to friends or family. Nearly 46% say they've had something go wrong after doing it. Lost money, broken trust, or strained relationships. And it's not just a US thing. In the UK, almost half of adults admit they're too embarrassed to ask for repayment once they've lent money. That awkward factor is real. We avoid confrontation to protect relationships, but silence often leads to resentment and financial stress that could have been avoided with clear communication. And this emotional pressure is part of your financial ecosystem, whether you acknowledge it or not. The family pressure trap, expectation versus loan. Family brings a different kind of pressure. Helping out isn't just kindness, it's an expectation. Saying no feels like betrayal. One famous example is Emmanuel Adebayo, the Togolese footballer. In a now viral Facebook post, he opened up about years of relentless financial pressure from his family. As his success grew, so did their demands. Houses, cars, tuition, and more. When he tried setting limits, he was called selfish. The constant stress and guilt eventually led him into deep depression. Adebayo's story exposes a truth many of us live quietly. When financial success turns into family dependency, your emotional well-being can crumble. Truth bomb: a loan is a debt, an expectation is a trap. Don't confuse the two, and don't let guilt dictate your giving. This experience opens a deeper conversation about success, entitlement, and emotional pressure, not just in families, but across cultures. Protecting yourself, legal and practical steps. Setting financial boundaries doesn't make you heartless. It makes you healthy. Here's how to lend money responsibly while keeping your relationships intact. 1. Put it in writing. Even with family or friends, always write down the agreement. Include full names and addresses, loan amount, repayment schedule and term, any agreed interest. This isn't distrust, it's documentation. 2. Define loan versus gift. Be explicit. Is this money a loan to be repaid or a gift you don't expect back? Ambiguity kills relationships faster than honesty ever will. 3. Keep proof of payment. Always use traceable methods like bank transfers or mobile money. Keep receipts, screenshots, and statements. Paper trails protect peace. 4. Consider collateral for larger loans. For bigger sums, a signed I owe you and represents a written acknowledgement of a debt. witness, or even collateral can add accountability. It's not rude, it's responsible. 5. Communicate clearly. Talk before you lend. Discuss repayment timelines and what happens if delays occur. A difficult conversation now prevents a painful one later. 6. Tax impact. In many jurisdictions, a friendship loan above a certain threshold must be declared on your income tax return. Do your due diligence. Protect your financial peace. Generosity is a beautiful act of love, but it should never cost you your stability. You have the right to say no. You have the right to protect your savings, your goals, and your peace. Lending money should never become a source of anxiety or resentment. At the end of the day, the most loving thing you can do for yourself and others is to set boundaries. If you can't afford to lose it, don't lend it. This is part of budgeting with purpose, protecting your future, not just reacting to pressure. Money doesn't just move through bank accounts. It moves through families, friendships, and expectations. Boundaries don't end relationships. Silence does. Protect your heart, protect your finances, protect your peace. If this resonated with you, explore my free budgeting tools, including a tracker and 200-question workbook on my website, and subscribe for early access to the Budgeting with Purpose Masterclass. Because budgeting isn't just about money, it's about clarity, resilience, and choosing freedom over fear.